Hey everyone, Dr. Frunkey here with an interesting new knife console for you. In front of us is a custom knife factory bag. CKF does a great job of shipping their knives in these very characteristic sacks. And today I have for you the ELF. This is an unusual knife that actually has been discontinued for some time. I'm just going to do a quick video on this knife because it happens to be coming across my table here. Again, this is the ELF. It's designed by Anton Malyshev. It's got an S35 VN blade with titanium and carbon fiber on the handle. This knife was actually made in 2014, so it's 2018 as I'm filming this. So you'll only be able to find these on the secondary markets. But you should know these knives cost about $350 brand new, and they have S35 VN, carbon fiber, and titanium handles. And it is a beast of a knife. This is a 4.5-inch folding knife. So I'm going to go ahead and bring out the ruler just to prove to you how huge this knife really is. From the tip of the blade all the way back to the handle, you're getting 4.5 inches, give or take. The cutting length is about 4.4 inches, so quite a blade that you've got going on there. The overall length is coming in at almost 10 inches, maybe about 9.6, 9.7 overall inches. It's 5 inches back to the pivot. It is quite a large knife. The handle itself is coming in somewhere around 5.3, 5.4 inches. And the handle length is probably about 4.8, 4.9 inches for the grip area, I should say. So a huge, huge knife. So if you have really Mongo hands, this is going to fit well. I have large hands, and look how much of the handle is still hanging out back there. Let's break this knife down anatomically and see what we're working with. Up front is that blade of S35 VN steel, done in a nice stone wash. It's got a nice high flat grind. It actually cuts quite well. It's a bit of an unusual blade shape that actually reminds me of a knife that I recently acquired, the Shirogorov Sigma. I just hit the my sign over there. So it actually has a similar blade shape, and these are both Russian knife makers and knife designers that are doing this. I've got another Russian design knife. This is the new Zero Tolerance 0462. These two knives are 4-inch knives, and if I go ahead and just put these all butt to butt, you can see how much longer this ELF is than the other two. So if you're looking for a massive knife, this may be right up your alley. I'll go ahead and show you that it absolutely dwarfs the Paramilitary 2 and especially the Para 3 right here. This knife is very, very big, as I've shown you again and again, but it's quite nice. If you really need a big user knife, this is going to be it. This is going to my buddy Nico, and he has every intention of making this a beater knife on his farm. This thing does run on ball bearings, and it has pretty good action. The detent is strong enough that you get a nice flip out. You can a little bit limp wrist it. It's not the crispest detent ever, but if you know what you're doing, you will get that blade to deploy. Because it's so heavy, it will fall down under its own weight. It's not the smoothest knife in the world. That has a little bit to do with some extra lock bar tension, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. It's got a nice flipper tab, and so it's easy to deploy and comfortable to deploy all day. Moving back to the handle, this has some really nicely done carbon fiber that's been 3D milled. It looks great. It's quite comfortable in the hand. The titanium frame lock side matches it. You can see the very fine milling lines going on the frame there. It's very nice, very tight tolerances. There is a steel lock bar insert. It's got a nice titanium back spacer. The two colors don't match perfectly, but you know, it's minor. That's okay. A thing that bothers me a little bit is that the pocket clip is not really ideal. If you'll look, there's almost no clearance at the tip of that pocket clip, and so there's no ramp. So there's almost no way to get that onto any type of pocket without pulling up on the clip. Being a milled 3D clip, the tension is quite high as well, so that's sort of a fatal combination. So not an easy knife to pocket, I wouldn't think, but it's got a handsome 3D milled clip. It looks really nice. Ergonomically, this knife is very, very comfortable. Being as huge as it is, you can get a lot of different grips, but the grooves here on the handle are quite comfortable. It'd be easy to carry around in your hand and use. So I'm going to keep this review pretty short right here. This is sort of a strange knife that's come across my table. It is quite a nice piece. I will say it's Very, very huge, and the pocket clip makes it more or less uncarryable most of the time. But if you ever see one of these and you're looking for a 4.5-inch folding knife, you will get a nice blade here. So let me know what you guys think of this knife down below. Oh, I guess I should mention that it is actually internally milled right there. And even at this size, it feels relatively light. Before I finish this off, let me show you. Okay, well, coming in at about 5.9 ounces, so it feels lighter than it should be, but, you know, I can only imagine how much it would weigh with a full tie scale right there. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Comments down below, click like and subscribe to my channel, and as always, take care.